Hello,
สวัสดี
สวัสดีครั
ค่ะ
บ
Hi Carol สวัสดีค่ะ
Good night and good afternoon over there.
Yeah welcome to
5,944
miles share the third event. This time we have the third times already.
Hi Carol, how are you?
Hi, it's lovely to see you again. I'm really enjoying our sessions together. I think we should just do this every week, forever.
Perhaps every 2 weeks is good.
It is good. It is good. Yes. Yes. And we have exciting guests to share their stories with us today again. So very much looking forward to it.
Yeah. First, let Carol introduce Apply Art Scotland. Yeah, for our guests. Yeah, please.
Okay. Great. So, yes, I'm Carol. I'm the chair of Applied Art Scotland, which is a charity in Scotland. And we are a membership organisation, and our members are craftspeople, makers, designers, and lots of people who run their very own businesses, maybe 2 people, but mostly just one person working on their own. And the work we do is to facilitate makers to share their experiences with one another. It's very difficult when you work in a small business to know everything there is to know or to keep up with all that you need to keep up with. So we find that it's very valuable to share experiences, to exchange knowledge, and to find out how other people do what they do so that we can support one another. So that's, I suppose, the main thing that brings us to this event and working with Pat and Com. It's been such a pleasure working with you.
Thank you.
It's such an honor for us
as well.
We are really small.
Yeah, and for this event, because last year on March, we're planning to go visit Apply Art Scotland. Unfortunate, the COVID-19 come to UK first, so we have to postpone our plans. And this year we have to thanks to Carol that arranged the event so we can connect to each other. And this 5,944 miles share, we have purpose to bring Thai crafter and Scottish crafter one at a time, and we can share experience and together and know each other, and we can expand our networking.
I think it's time to open the curtain and bring our guests come to the front.
Please welcome Kun Man from ManCraft and Fran from Scotland.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Hi, nice to meet you.
Fantastic.
Who want to introduce first? Fran, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, I do pottery in Scotland, in the northeast, in a place called Arbroath, and I've been doing ceramics for since quite a long time. I've been a maker, I think, all my life. I started knitting when I was young, knitting and weaving and spinning and dyeing and all those things, and got into pottery after I had my 3 children. And somehow I just had this urge to work with clay. So I trained in clay about 20 years ago, and my poor sons were brought up doing with clay all around them.
Oh,
sorry.
Oops.
That's all right. Still here. So that was 2,000 years ago. Sorry, 2,000 years ago. I'm not old.
It's my mistake.
In the year 2000, I graduated from college, and I've been doing community projects with schools and hospitals and so on ever since. And this is the kind of work that I was doing myself, and I had 1 or 2 apprentices, Lena Butchek and others, come and do work with me. So it's been really good fun. The hospital projects were good. I'm working with Tayside Healthcare Arts Trust, which works with people with chronic pain and heart, chest and stroke problems. I just realized how good creativity is for everybody. Any problem, I think, is better if you've got creative skills and you've got time and place to be creative. So that's what I've encouraged in the groups I've worked with, and also I find that for myself. So that's my introduction.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry.
Wow, I love to hear that the creative skill is important. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, come to man.
Please introduce yourself, please.
ค่ะ
Okay ครับ I prepared the slide for like 100 pages. Sorry.
You have 5 minutes.
You have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me share on screen.
This is always the exciting bit, whether the technology will work. Yay!
เห็นอยู่ใช่ไหมครับเดี๋ยว
เห็นค่ะโอเค
Okay. This is my logo, ManCraft. I'm founded the ManCraft brand on 2010 after I graduated master degree of design, and this is my hands after work. So the blue hands, and this is some of my sketch design with the natural material like cotton and spun cotton. And
คุณแมนคะภาพไม่ขยับอะค่ะ
เดี๋ยวสักครู่นะฮะเห็นไหมครับ
โอเค
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is your hand, sure.
This is my hand after work. I'm working very hard. Yes, and this is
Love the color.
Indigo sign.
Yeah.
And I will tell you the funny story when I was in Bangkok, like on the BTS SkyTrain. Everyone look at my me and my hands, and they like they scare.
Yeah, have to be scared.
Definitely. Everyone should be scared.
And this is some of my sketch design with which I work with the local weavers in Scotland and Thailand. Scotland and Thailand is in the northeastern of Thailand, so it's like a small city. And my concept is to use the local wisdom combined with the creativity, and I use some new techniques like eco print or wood block print and some painting on my product like scarf, textile. And my inspiration from nature, like from leaves, flowers, fungi, the colors from sky and soil, and from different seasons, and also the like emotion that I feel in that day. Like I feel cold, I feel comfortable, or I feel happy, or the feeling after raining. So I keep this impression and make into my product as color and pattern. And also some of the technique I borrow from the other place, like in Scotland in Thailand, we don't have eco print technique, we don't have wood block print technique. So I like when I go overseas, like to India or to Japan, I like to join some of the artist studio and learn the new technique and new thing, and then apply to my work. And this is some of my inspiration, the flowers that I collect in my garden.
Lovely.
Some falling leaves.
Probably connection.
คุณแมนมันต้องเป็นรูปหรือมันต้องเป็นฟอนต์นะคะ
มันจะเป็นรูปฮะมันไม่เคลื่อนไหวใช่ไหมฮะ
ไม่เคลื่อน
ไม่ข
ค่ะ
ยับ
ตอนนี้มันเป็นยังเป็นเทคนิคการย้อมค่ะ
เป็นภาษาไทย
อ๋อเดี๋ยวสักครู่นะฮะเอ่อ
อาจจะเป็นเพราะมันเป็นโอเค รูปมาแล้วค่ะ
รูปมาแล้วนะครับอ๋อโอเค
ว้าว very
like some
beautiful
flowers
อืม
that I collect in my gardens
อือฮึ
and this the sky mostly I inspired by sky in each season and each time each different time
is beautiful color and the leaf นะ
อืม
yeah
So many different colors.
yeah this is some of the natural color I found around my area and some local place like the lac indigo ferratinctoria the Milobaran leaf ebony fruit or tree bark
อืม
Lovely.
this
Yeah.
is some of the natural color
beautiful
Right. Amazing.
yeah it's so bright อืม
yes. and I'll show you my team we do as a teamwork
teamwork
is backward
มันชา
okay
คุณแม่
that this is my mom and my sister
that's your team okay
our business is like a small business is the like the เป็นธุรกิจครอบครัวจะบอกว่าไงนะฮะเป็น
family business
family
ค่ะ
business
family business yes and this is my team the weavers
Oh,
yeah community
they are local
yeah
yes.
local community
and this is I work with two different of the village and I'll show you some of the product very quickly and I inspired by sky
Beautiful.
yeah
This is
beautiful
this collection called indigo spectrum this is from the shades many shades of indigo dye
I think this one is ManCraft signature
it is
yes, this is our signature
yeah
Yeah. I'm lucky enough
Beautiful.
to have one of those. I love it. I wear it all the time.
yeah
me
Thank
too
you. And this is some
I'd love one.
that I collect some small pieces of leftover fabric and then make the new life for them.
Beautiful.
And this is the traditional technique that I combine and use, but I change color. Like if you see the traditional Thai textile, you can see the bright color like very red, yellow, green, and indigo. Then, but I love pastel color, so I change the color, the tone.
Mm. Mm.
And this is with the ikat technique, matmi.
So gorgeous.
yeah
And sometimes I inspired by fungi or some mushroom fungi that I see in each season, and to make this kind of pattern. This is the drop dye, the drip dye. And sometimes I use the like in Scotland and Thailand area we found the prehistoric like the pottery that
Yeah.
called Scotland and Thailand basin. It's like it's shared in the same place as Ban Chiang history.
3,000 no?
Yes, it's about 2,000 to 5,000 years old.
yeah pottery
So I use the pattern to and create into my design.
Mm. Lovely.
and some I use the pattern as the alphabet. This is the in Isan we call อักษรธรรม is the Tham alphabet that is almost the same as in Lao. So I use new design, but still using the with natural dye, and sometimes I inspire by season. Like this is from the summer season.
Right.
Fantastic.
And the local materials is of course the local material that we use mainly is natural indigo, but sometimes I use mud. Mud is we can find everywhere around Sakonnakhon and also in my garden and at home. We have the very old lotus palm, and also we can collect the mud, which is rich in like how to say the rustic, and also I use as the mud that reacts with the tannin from leaves and from tree bark. So you get the like brown, gray, black pattern.
Yeah.
This is also some of my inspiration and experiment from indigo. That I use the indigo. I extract the indigo paste into indigo ink and then print as the greeting card.
Wow.
Lovely.
And also I love to experiment with different materials. Like behind me that I'm standing is the sa paper, is the handmade paper, and I use the fold technique and then dye with natural indigo, and also the coat and the dress that you see is different kind of fabric, like from silk, linen, cotton, and some hemp. We collaborate with the Big N. It's the brand in Bangkok. It's like the lifestyle brand in Bangkok. This is from the wallpaper magazine, wallpaper handmade exhibition in Bangkok. And also I try to experiment dyeing indigo with some how to say ceramic.
Yes.
Yeah, and also with the teak wood. And I'll show you my passion, and what I love is the most in my career is to share my passion, to share my love with the people, like school student or some other people who interested in art and craft. Me and my friends in Sakonnakhon, we have lots of the people in my age and lots of craftsmen, and we gather and then we volunteer to school and for some how to say organization, and to set up the art and craft camp, art and craft camp. Yes, and invite the school to join us, and this is the workshop at the support art and craft organization Succeed, the indigo workshop.
Fantastic.
Yes. For workshop is my passion, and I love the most, because I like the way that people who interested in the same thing, and they want to learn and they want to understand, and I got some power, how to say that, like the good power and good feeling.
Yeah.
Energy, yes, good energy from them. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And like for 6 years ago, from 6 years ago to until now, I love to go traveling and to teach workshop around like in Thailand or overseas if I have a chance. So I can do for free. Really, yes. Because it's good fun. It's very good fun for me. Yes. And I
Yes.
got some experience and I
Thank
can
you.
travel and to see, open my vision.
Yeah,
Okay.
to share as well. Mhm.
This is and also I got the very good opportunity from the British Council Thailand and Applied Arts Scotland for the Crafting Future program to join and have got the opportunity to go as a curator trip to UK and also with the craft space. And this is the trip with the curator trip, the textile that we went to the Lancashire to the place that is important for the textile and art, and also to visit the William Morris exhibition, William Morris Gallery. And this is I'm not sure the place. And last year with the Applied Arts Scotland and also with the British Council Thailand, I've got the opportunity to be a
Yes.
part.
Is that you?
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes. Because
Yes,
man
I
just went before our trip.
Co-part, yes, with Lynn and my collaborate partner is Lynn. She's very kind and she's the genius. Her inspiration of weaving from the DNA data. Yes, which is very interesting.
Yes.
And also this is the Stephanie. She's the jewelry artist. She's very. Her work is very interesting. And Nong Pun is the she's designer and also she has the new vision for the sustainable and also to make the new thing from the sustainability mixed with the old technique like the craft technique. And my recent project is Man Garden, the creative craft center. I use the concept as the connect, share, inspire for sustainable. And we have the Man Garden is also my new space for my new studio. And also I want to connect with people and to share our inspiration and our love to other people. So we have like craft market. And I invite my friends, university, and the local group, the craftsman group, to join us and as the participant. And also we have the booth for selling product, and we have the workshop like the pottery workshop, indigo workshop, like, and everyone help each other to set up the craft market and also the seminar. And at night we have chef table that the chef collect the ingredient from my garden and also from the like that is special in each season.
Fantastic. You're a busy guy. You've got many things. Amazing. And I think you and Fran have many things in common, because Fran likes to run workshops and teach as well. So do you want to say a little bit about your teaching, Fran?
Well, I like teaching. I've worked with a lot of different groups with schools as well. So I connect with what you're saying about teaching people and that nice feeling of power of teaching. You know something that's useful to somebody else, and it can inspire them and give them life and energy. And I just this morning I just had people collecting some clay that they'd done with me. I fired it and they've glazed it, come back, and it's just been through my kiln, and they were so excited to see the different ways that the glazes had affected the pieces, and they were so pleased already. Some of their friends wanted to have some of the pieces that they'd shown, that I'd sent them the photographs from the firing, and they were so excited. And that gives me a lot of energy to know that the things that I'm doing are giving other people energy and a way of connecting to their friends, a different way of connecting to their friends as well. So yeah, I completely get what you're saying there. And the other thing that I was noticing was when you were talking about the creating community, and I think that's been one of the things I've missed when we haven't had we haven't been able to see each other so much, because in my I've got quite a big house and I've had a lot of open studios, so I invite maybe 7 or 8 different artists with maybe painting and textiles and jewelry and ceramics all to come, and we have like an open week or an open weekend, and we've sold our work, but we've encouraged each other and we've shared ideas, and also all invited friends or customers from the community. And that's one of the other things I've really missed that we haven't had recently. Yeah.
We always, yeah.
And the other, well, what was the question, Carol?
Well, it was just
right.
Yeah, we should come to the second one. Yes, the second question.
Carol, please.
Yes, I think this is a great moment to share what you guys have been doing through lockdown. You know, we've all now been in situations that we didn't expect, and we've not been able to work in the way that we're used to. So can you tell us a bit about what you've been doing during lockdown and how you've taken the opportunity to think about things maybe a little bit differently? Shall we start with Fran, and that maybe as you introduce, I will try and find your slides.
Okay. Thank you. Well, when lockdown happened in March last year, it seemed so quick. We were going along as normal, and suddenly then we couldn't do anything. So I had a kind of an anxiety that I wouldn't be able to get materials, because there is some local clay here, and I do sometimes get local clay, but even that is just about 5 miles from home, and we were hardly allowed to travel. So I was kind of anxious. So I started to go much smaller. So from doing quite big pieces, I started to think I must use my resources very carefully. So I started seeing the picture to make very small things. That little pot is what you call throwing off the hump. So they center a big bit of clay on your wheel and then do lots of small pieces from it. And the spaces around me I live near the sea, just about 5 minutes walk from the sea, and that sea stack there with me standing on top, it's just along the coast, about 20 minutes, half an hour away. So I started to walk more in the local area and really kind of slow down my life to really notice what was around me more than like what I was doing too many things before, and I suddenly kind of had to slow down, obviously, and make things that were smaller. So I also got inspired. We've got lovely red sandstone in the cliffs, and there's sea stacks, and there's the water is just beautiful. So when I saw your indigo scarf there, man, I just thought, I'm always seeing that horizon, that horizontal line whenever I go out of my door, unless it's misty. But even then, you get the lovely grey colours, the greys and the blues and variations, and it's always different. The sky is absolutely always different and beautiful. So quite a lot of my mugs and things have a horizon line, and it's from dipping a piece of clay one way, of ceramic one way up, bisque fired, and then dipping it the other way up. So and then the two lines overlap and you get different shades. So a bit similar to the way you're grading all your shades in the blues, and I really love that. So but that was that's more what I did before and what I'm doing now. During lockdown, I was just making, inspired by the landscape and making very small things. So could you go on to the next slide, Carol? Yeah. So again, in our area, it's red sandstone, and it wears down and it gets eroded by the weather. And there's a lot of wind on the East Coast. But it wears down the rocks, the ancient rocks, in such beautiful ways. There's a stone that we call pudding stone, that's the local name, and it's a sandstone which has a lot of small stones embedded in it. And as it wears away, the small stones fall out, and the wind and the sand and everything gets in and wears out holes. So I've had an overpowering need to fill up any small holes I see in walls with my little pots. So I've made them in like jewel-like colors, you know, the shiny blues and shiny turquoises and shiny greens, to kind of fill up all these little holes and make it look like something special. So far I've just filled up the holes and taken photographs. I haven't actually left them there. I've got this feeling that I need to, next stage is perhaps leaving some of my little pots in crevices in the rocks and the bricks so that other people can find them. And there has been quite an interesting community thing going on where children have been writing and drawing on stones and pebbles around here. I didn't put that picture in, but I've got a nice picture of a biggish pebble, and it just says "Be happy" on it, and it's drawn in pink and turquoise and left under a seat along on our cliff path. So it's almost like these little things, if I left them, it would almost be saying "Be happy," but in a thing rather than in a word. So that's like probably next stage. But could you go on, Carol, to the next one? So when I was seeing all these little alcoves in the rock, it started to inspire me to make the alcoves as well as make the small pieces. So the one on the right is trying to copy what is a bit like the walls. And I've got two, so I know they're in the pictures, but it's kind of nice sometimes to see the real thing. So that's one when it was finished, and you can, it's a funny angle there, you can see all the small pots, and so at the moment they all come out, and they really are extremely tiny. I can, sorry, there, just fit my finger in. So it's just to let you see the real thing kind of finished. So I made a few of these. Here's one more as a way of displaying the little ones. When you can't kind of take a whole bit of the stone wall away for your exhibition, but you can make little kind of pretend stone walls. So those are just two little examples. I think I had, oh yeah, one more. I'll just show you. I started to, when we were all asked to stay safe during lockdown, it was kind of like, this is an extreme version of staying safe. So the two pots are in there, and then you close it up. So it looks like almost, it's not quite hidden, but it's almost like you're not quite there. It's just a rock. And then you can kind of open it up and see that there are actually two little equivalent metaphor for people staying safe in their home where they're not really visible. So those are the kind of things that it led me to during lockdown. I think I've got one more. And then just beginning to move out from lockdown, this is like a little symbolic boat, so that we're like starting to move and wanting to travel and wanting to move out away from home and go on another adventure. Had a method of staying safe. So it's time to journey out into the wider world, symbolically at least. I suppose doing this is like, you know, part of stepping out away from the safety of home in a way.
They are
Yeah.
lovely.
They're
So that's me.
From people.
Can you
Thank
tell us
you.
a little bit more about how you managed to make such a tiny pot? I mean, the fact you can only get one finger in, how can you possibly throw a pot so small? Amazing.
Well, you do. You get one finger inside, and then you bring it together with your fingers. So once you've made the space inside, you just bring it together at the top. The difficult thing then is turning the pot, putting them back upside down on the wheel, and trying to tidy up the base. So that's a bit tricky.
Fantastic.
Some of them have got a little mark on the bottom, and some of them have got a turn base, but it is quite tricky, and it's a challenge. But then we kind of needed challenges in lockdown, didn't we? We had to stay in, so we had to get creative in different ways, and not with our friends and colleagues, but like really entertaining ourselves however we could do that.
Absolutely. And a lovely message as well about treating the resources as really precious. You know, I think that's a really important message, isn't it?
Yeah. The other thing I just remembered as I was doing this little goblet, that when I was very young, my dad used to collect the silver paper from sweets, you know, Quality Street, the foil that you get on the sweets. And we used to sit and make them into little goblets. So it was a little kind of memory from being maybe 4, 5, 6, and the memory, because now I'm 66, so the memory from like 60 years ago came back with the hand movements of actually putting my little finger in, and then with the foil you used to turn it round, and it was funny that the memory only came back from doing it. And I think we have a lot of memories stored in our bodies that, you know, we need the movement to get them out in a way. So thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
No.
That's brilliant. That's so inspiring.
Thank you.
Can we ask you the same question, man? What did lockdown inspire you to do that was new and different from what you'd already been doing?
Okay. For the lockdown and the COVID pandemic, I have to close my shop in Bangkok. Yes, and also the shop in Scotland and the branch in the airport. We are temporarily closed. Yes. Also at the main garden, because we are not, how to say, if people come to visit and we not feeling right, จะบอกว่าไงดีครับ รู้สึกไม่ปลอดภัย ถ้าเกิดเราก็ไม่มั่นใจว่าคนจะรู้สึก
Okay, perhaps it's not safe enough for people to come. Yeah.
And also the situation that people in Thailand, I think everyone we have to keep money for the urgent situation. Yes.
Yeah, no one to spend.
Yeah, and then but the good thing that I have time to focus on myself and what I really want to do, and also to focus and to plan for my recent and my future project, like in the main garden, like that I show you. Yes, because it's quite large space. It's about 2 acres. For me, it's about 2 acres, but for the creative center, and I want to build. I want to make the space that can that people can come and to use the materials and to be inspired by stay in my space. And also this is I'll show you what I'm practiced during the COVID.
What will he bring? Has he been making pots?
No, this is for the COVID pandemic, and I have plenty of time to learn in the how to say online to study online, to learn online, like online class. And then I joined the online class called the tablet weaving.
Uh-huh.
The tablet weaving. Like this is some of the loom, and the tablet weaving is that we can weave in the like the paper with the punch hole. And then for the COVID, I want to express myself as this is I weave as the word like you.
Is that difficult?
Now it means stay at home. It's in Isan language. And this is sao lo. It means don't go like travel or to go around. Don't go around. Sao lo. You mama meme. You mama meme. Stay like that. Stay quietly and yes, this is some of and also the this is like สตินี่พูดว่าไงครับพี่แพท
Okay, conscious, be conscious.
สติมาปัญญาเกิด
Okay.
Yes.
When we conscious, we wisdom.
Come.
Yeah,
Wisdom
we have
come.
wisdom.
Yes, and I would like to express my thinking after COVID, and I will display all the words and the quote in my gallery. Yes,
Wow.
for the exhibition. Yes,
Good.
And for the working in my schedule, like I work with the local weaver, like almost 25 weavers. Each month, but we have to increase the weaver, and also to give them less work because of the situation. But they understand what's happened. Yeah, and also I try to learn the new thing and to do the new thing. Like I do live on Facebook every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. because it's good thing because I have the time and the channel to tell story to the audience, to my customer, what I was doing during this week, during the past week. Like I met people, I teach online class, or I found some new inspiration, and I tell them on every Sunday afternoon. Yes, and also and yes, it's about the telling story and to find the new like selling sale market, the new market.
Yeah. Fantastic. But a great opportunity to connect with people and find new people to speak to and new ways of connecting.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So that brings us very neatly to our last question, doesn't it?
Yeah. I about to ask the last questions. Yeah, because the situations and everything, I think is have to change. Our last questions bring up to what do you think as a craft maker? Yeah. Do all craft maker have to be prepared or change to the new situations? We would like you guys to share your ideas about this in the future.
Coming future.
Please, shall we start with Fran, please?
Okay. Well, it's different ways of looking at it. I think for me, it was the slowing down and being mindful and being really careful of my resources, and also valuing valuing that we have resources and we can use them and we've got the time and space to use them. But thinking and also going online more. I mean, we've organised exhibitions through the Scottish Potters Association, which have been online, and then another exhibition just recently, Art of Boyne, it was online and it was in person. So because we were able to open out a bit, then we had the exhibition where people could visit. And sorry. Sorry, we could visit, and I realized just the tactile contact, how much people were more likely to buy when they had the tactile contact. Sorry, I had to stop my phone somehow.
Somebody phoning to tell you they've just seen you online and you're famous.
Maybe. Well, they know they're online too now. Yeah, so going online more and valuing that as well, but also the whole thing about sustainability and the whole ecological crisis in the world has been a bit of a shake-up as well, and thinking, well, how as a potter do you use less energy? I can use some of the local clays, but they're earthenware, they're red clay, a very lovely red clay, but not in huge quantities. So it would be doing small things again. And also the kind of firing I like is really hot firing. And we've been, one of the things about community is that we're setting up a wood fire kiln in our area, and we've been given one and we're developing it together, and there's a whole new group of people, about 25 people all involved in setting that up, and it's really exciting. But on the other hand, that uses quite a lot of wood and it fires quite high, and so I've got a lot of questions about, you know, how do we do ceramics in an ecological way and still be producing things which are functional, and the work is obviously waterproof, non-porous, but I don't know. I've still got an awful lot of questions about that, and yeah, I think I'll stop there for the moment. I might say another few things after, but I think that's the most important, and I'm left with a lot of questions too. And because online is fine, but traveling places is a lot better. I still want to travel, but I don't want to damage the planet by using too much airplane fuel. So again, loads of questions. How do we live within our means and within our planet's capability? And I don't know. Yeah, I'm reading more, I'm listening more, but I still have loads of questions. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
challenge. Yeah.
Very challenge. Yeah. Go to Man ค่ะ
ครับก็ for me I think we have to focus is one of the important thing that we should do. Focus on what we really want to do, and also like Fran say, for the we have lack of material and the place and everything, so we have to use it ให้เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุดว่าไงนะฮะให้เกิดประโยชน์สูงสุด to
the most useful, no?
yes
The most
useful yes to get the use the most useful yes the ผลลัพธ์นะฮะ and also we have to try to learn new thing thing is very important for the craftsman, and
we have audience to help.
Friend.
Yeah.
Okay, ขอบคุณครับ maximize the use of maximize the use of like I have indigo paste at my studio, and most of the time I just use it, but right now we have to save everything, like save the indigo paste. We have to save time, and we have to decrease the people, like the assistant, decrease the labor to help us, because of we have to stay
smaller.
Keep smaller, yeah. And also to learn new things is very important, like we have to accept like new technology, like for the like the online class, and also we have to find the new channel to sell product, and but the most important thing is we have to even we have to have a distance จะบอกว่าไงดีฮะรักษาระยะห่าง keep
distance
keep distance but we have to connect to
connect
Yeah.
yes, we have to
Yeah.
As we are doing now. Yeah.
Yes,
Even
yeah.
we are far away, but we can
Like-
connect.
5,000 like I
Yes.
said.
Yes, it's
So
nothing.
to connect,
Yes.
Yeah. In some way, could I say something there? In some ways, I've had to have, I found it easier to connect because there've been smaller groups. So I've had like 4 people in my studio to teach this last couple of months instead of having 8 or more. And so it's been really nice to have just small groups, and it also means like you can help people more at different stages of what they're doing with pottery, and you can chat more because it's you've got more time one-to-one when it's 4 people rather than twice as many or 3 times as many. So in some ways, although the connecting with bigger groups is fun, there's also a benefit in connecting just maybe one-to-one, and the other thing is connecting with family more and realizing how much family and good friends really matter. So my mum is 100 years old and my aunt is 98, and they're amazing, but they live in Edinburgh, and through this time I've actually had time, every week to go down and to see them and to really value their special the specialness. And I was doing too much before that, and so again the slowing down means you really value the contacts that you do have, I think, in maybe a different way.
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you so much. That is very valuable. I think that, we smaller, we more mindful, focus. Especially we it's not in quantity now, but it's in quality.
Absolutely.
Very beautiful.
And I think to also admit that there's lots of questions we still have to work on together to answer, because they're difficult questions. And for people like us who make things, we don't want to make too many. We don't want to have waste, but we need to make, because it's such an important part of what we do. So I think that's a very difficult question, isn't it? Is that what you were thinking as well, Fran? That wrestle between making and not making.
I have to make, but I don't necessarily think we need more objects in the world. Maybe we need to, maybe we need to leave more clay in the ground so that people in the future have still got it to make vessels. I don't know, but I do love making, and if I can't make with clay, then I'm going to go back to knitting, which I also love, and then just to keep people warm in our cold, windy weather in Scotland. So, And I love the way that Man was talking about using the scraps and using any little small leftovers, reusing or combining them in different ways. That seems really, really important and valuable, and also a lovely thing to do as well.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just going to be very cheeky, and I'm going to make an advert for the exhibition that Man, Poon, Steph and Lynn all have work in. It's opening this weekend at the Barn in Aberdeen. And that's exactly what the exhibition is all about. It's about makers sharing their stories of sustainability and identity and collaboration, and how collaboration can really help us with all of these quite challenging things. But obviously we know that not everyone can visit the exhibition. So at the end of September, we'll be having an online festival so that we can share these stories with our friends all over the world. So please have a look at the Applied Art Scotland website for more information. But we will all be able to connect online in September again anyway. So yeah, we've not seen the last of each other when we finish this session.
Good, because this is so exciting. This is so lovely to meet you all in Thailand. It really is a special event. I'm so pleased to be part of it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's just, I think for me, I've been lucky enough to work in Thailand for quite a few years now, and I've met you lovely people in person, and I can't wait to meet you in person again. But for the moment, we can still connect, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, One for One, for just really having this idea and making it happen.
Yeah. Going to have another one on the 2nd of September.
Yeah. Next month.
So we will meet again.
Yes. Absolutely.
So honored to get you all to share your experience across the continents. That the distance is not problem anymore. So we can share together around the world.
Because it's reassuring, isn't it, to know that even although we're far away, there's so many things we have in common. There's so many things that we're trying to deal with, and we need to deal with them together, particularly with the environment and sustainability.
Definitely.
And we all want community. And when you speak to people at ground level, everybody cares about the planet and cares about community, almost everybody. And it's just a matter of making it work, making it happen between us and across the planet as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just, I don't know. It's just nice to know that we're not doing it on our own, isn't it? It's nice to know that we are able to connect and offer each other ideas. I love Man's ongoing learning. That's really important, isn't it, Man, for that sort of connection?
Yeah. And I still don't know about ceramics and indigo. I still want to know about that. But maybe I'll have to message you directly, maybe, if we're running out of time, because that sounded very interesting.
Yeah.
That sounded great.
Does the indigo get fired onto the pot?
When the indigo get fired on the pot, it disappear. But I use as the dyeing process, like to extract the indigo. เข้มข้นจะบอกไงฮะ very
concentrate.
Yes, very concentrated indigo. Yes, and then soak the ceramic like for 1 or 2 days, and then like the Chinese ceramic that crack. You can have the
crack.
Yes, and it's in between there.
It does.
All right.
Yes.
So use it like ink.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Fran. I can see you going, oh yes.
I use cobalt really, but I'd rather use indigo. Cobalt's toxic. I don't think indigo is. And I love the color of your hands. If I could get pots that color, I'd be very happy.
but in Scotland, you can find wood, right? Wood. WOAD.
Wood, yes. Yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that grows in Scotland. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe the same process as indigo. If you
maybe
to extract the wood paste, yes, it's in the same process.
Yeah. But you couldn't fire it though, could you, and keep the color?
Pardon?
I don't think so.
You can't fire it. You can't fire the clay and keep the color.
My friend Carol, do you remember Don Mudin? Don Mudin in Scotland. Yes. She tried to to find the indigo,
Indigo.
ceramic, but it's disappear. Indigo disappear.
Yeah.
Be.
You just have to use it in photographs and as inspiration without the actual object having the color. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
But I always think blue connects us anyway. Blue in Scotland and blue in Thailand. Important colours that connect us. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay. It's
I
time.
think
Yeah.
it's about time.
It's about time. Yeah.
So
So
we can follow each other on Instagram, can't we? Is that the best way?
Yeah.
I heard that man
I
already.
follow you. Yes, I follow you yesterday, I think. Fran.
Yeah. And I
And we
followed
will
you
do
too. So
today.
yes.
we can find each other at least in the ether for the moment, and maybe in Scotland or Thailand soon.
And for people out there who might want to watch this later or watching it now, what are your Instagram handles, Fran?
Mine is at Springfield Clay Station. So instead of PlayStation, it's Clay Station, and I live at Springfield Terrace. So it's Springfield Clay Station is mine. Yeah.
Great.
And man,
what are you?
141 SE.
141 SE.
SE.
And man is ManCraft, like in his name.
Yeah.
Yes,
Man.
Oh, just as he's advertising. And we are Applied Art Scotland.
Okay.
So,
You can all follow this.
So everybody out there, follow us, and we'll make a big gang together. Big grand.
Definitely.
Great.
All connected already.
Fantastic.
Hope to see you all again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Fran,
So-
thank you so much for today. Also, Carol and the man. ค่ะขอบคุณมากนะคะ
ขอบคุณมากนะ
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Swaddy
Take care.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.